Okay, right now what we're going to do is we're going to do the shine behind effect. It shows a light that shoots through letters. Let me just show you what the overall effect will look like here after we finish it up. You'll notice that a blue light is shooting between the letters. We'll be able to adjust how much of a light comes through and such through this video. I'm going to go ahead and pause this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new composition by going here, new composition. What I'm going to be able to do then is I'm just going to set as a black background. I've got it is the high definition video 1080p 29 frames per second. I've named it, let's name the composition Shine Behind. Okay. We start out with a blank palette of things. What you'll then do is come over here. I'm going to add a black background by going new. I'm going to add a new solid. It's going to be a new dark gray solid. I suppose I could do my color picker and pick out a black solid. Okay, that's going to give me the background. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to go up to the T and I'm going to place some text on here. Okay, on here I'm going to type some text. Now I could put any words that I could do Swanson. There we go. Just to name it random. Let's put it. Yeah, at random. I just picked letters at random. Okay, I'm going to highlight it. I'm actually going to make this color white for now. What I've done is that you can then come over here to your character toolbar. You can make it bigger or smaller. Let's leave it about that size. You can increase how tall or short or fat or small or tiny it is. Let's leave it tall, and let's make it a little bit bigger so it takes up the most of this stage. This is called the stage. Okay. So we have our word on there. You can change the font on here if you like. My least favorite font of all time would be Comic Sans. Please don't use that. It's a crime against humanity is what I would say. I don't like that one either. Oh, that is adorable there. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control there. So we got our word. What I'm using up here, this is your select tool. You got a hand tool that lets you move your stage around. You got a magnify tool. I just generally use the scroll wheel on the mouse. Rotate tool, camera tool. You'll get familiar with all these tools later on. This is a tool that you'll use here is the text edit tool. Okay. What we're then going to do is we're going to go down to our layer, and for our purposes we are going to make 3 layers for it of the same word layered on 3 times. So I'm going to use the Control D to make one. It duplicates it, and I'm going to use Control D a second time. It duplicates that layer of text. You'll see on here the duplicate is right here on the menu if you choose to do it that way. We now have 3 layers of text. What I am now going to do is I'm going to go to layer 2. I'm going to go over here to my effects and presets menu. And I'm going to type in fast for radial fast blur and just fast blur. I'm going to pull that down to layer 2. Over here on your effect controls, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the blurriness just a little bit, and you'll notice that the light starts shining through the letters. That's what it looks like before, after. I'm going to bring it up to about 55. Okay. Next on the CC radial fast blur, I'm going to set my first point over to the left and set it as a keyframe. To see where the keyframes keyframe out to, you can bump down your effects menu into the CC radial fast blur. I'm going to bring up my amount as well. I'm going to bring that up to about 70. If it will let me. Don't do this. Okay, I'll just type it in. And I will then come over to about 4 seconds. Let's go 6 seconds. I'm going to then click on my center point selector. I'm going to bump it over to the far right. And then I'm then going to go to 10 seconds and have my center come to the middle. Along with it going to the center, I'm going to go back to this point here, set my amount to go up just slightly, and then when it comes to the middle, I'm going to have it go to 100. I'm then going to go down a second, and I'm going to have that go down to 0. So the overall effect, if we preview this by hitting the space bar, you can also go up to here. This is probably going to be a little bit more stable, is the RAM preview. It pre-renders your sequence. And you can see it's freezing up on me here. But what you can see is that the blur does work across the back of the word, and then it's coming back to the middle. It's going to shine bright, and then fade back out. Okay? If you would like, you then can go on to your third layer. You could go on there, select your text, and we can add red to the background if you wanted to have the letters look red with the white light. No?
Blue.
I don't like red.
I like blue.
Green.
Okay?
Pink.
So just to show you what it looks like with the blue. Oh, it didn't hold it.
Pink.
Pink? So this is what it looks like with the white showing through with the pink letters.
Okay.
It looks okay, I suppose, I guess. Okay? One of the other things you can do is if you go to this layer, the first TN, you can expand that out, go to your text, select it, and that's, yeah. So what you could do is you can mess with those. Okay? So what this effect is called is the fast blur. It lets you have the light pass behind the letters. It shows through. Have it come up. Okay? So what you can then do is you can render that video out. You could put it into Premiere Pro, and I'm going to ask that you put a sound effect on it. You could put it through Premiere Pro if you feel a little bit more familiar with that. You can also bring audio in to After Effects and put the audio in here. When you go to preview it, it's best if you preview with the RAM preview, otherwise the sound will not work. So if you could put like a whoosh sound, like the light going back and forth with a whoosh, or whatever sound effect that you choose, I'd like you to have some sound in here with your fast blur background lighted letters. It's a pretty simple but cool effect. So that's what you'll give a try.